According to the Dinner Etiquette Guide on what'scookingamerica.net, there are several dozen rules to consuming. I disagree. There's only one rule to eating: consume efficiently. You've seen how the food is selected, prepared, and cooked. I'm going to show you what you do with the food when it's ready to be eaten. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to eat, how I'm going to eat it, and then how it tasted. I feel I'm qualified to instruct you on how to eat like a man because I've been doing it since the day I was born. First, let me show you what I'm going to eat. This step is crucial because food is very hard to recognize until it has been introduced thoroughly. This is what I'm going to eat. I'll start with the smashed potatoes. These potatoes were artfully created by delicately blending a precise amount of punching and crushing the potato the way one would crush the still beating heart of your enemy. The potatoes themselves were chosen by raiding a local potato farm and selecting the best, manliest looking potatoes they had. I'm pretty sure one of the potatoes was even growing a beard. That's how manly it was. Now, for the rest of my sides, since I'm washing my figure, I chose some salads. So here I've got my ham salad, my chicken salad, and my tuna salad. And finally, I have the steak. To find this steak, several men sacrificed their lives scouting out the finest specimen of cow in the world. Armed with this intel, I sent a hit squad to capture the cow and cut the steak out of its side while it remained alive. The crucial ingredient to this steak is that it was flipped by hand. This gives the steak a sense of dignity and masculinity, and consuming those feelings will cause your beard to grow several inches. Now that we've looked at the food, I'm going to show you how to eat it. The first step is to make sure that your seat at the table is set up properly. There. Now my seat at the table is set up properly. Now, the next step is that you ensure that your napkin is in a useful place. Now, according to the etiquette guide from earlier, the proper place to put your napkin is in your lap. However, they don't take into account that a toga is essentially a giant napkin. And since I wear a toga to every meal, napkins are useless to me. Now, as you can see, what I have here are several steak knives and a steak saw. Spoons, forks, and the satanic creation that is a spork are for women. The first step to eating anything is to stab it with your best steak knife. This tests the tenderness of the food and lets the steak know who's the boss. Now that I've finished eating, I'll tell you how to properly critique food. Next, you remove your steak knife and take the steak with a firm grip like you're putting a deer that you accidentally ran over when it tried to dash across the road in front of you while you're driving too fast, and you didn't really mean to do it, but it still happened, and food is food, out of its misery. Now you're ready to consume. The key to critiquing food is a rating system. According to accidentalehedonism.com, the three categories that you judge food on is the presentation, the technique and creativity, and the overall taste. For example, I'll critique the smashed potatoes. I feel they could have been presented better because they weren't on a silver platter and they were in a bowl, which decreases the efficiency in which I could consume them because I couldn't put my face in them. However, the technique was spot on. I felt the Potato Smith did an astounding job and added the perfect amount of punches to the mixture. The overall taste was fantastic. You could really taste the fist in the potatoes, but there wasn't enough bacon. I felt the heart and soul of the Potato Smith was really put into the potatoes. I even found what I believe is a knuckle hair. That's dedication. Now that the food has been eaten and reviewed, our time is drawing to a close. Today, I educated you on how to eat like a man. I showed you what I was going to eat, how I was going to eat it, and then I told you what it tasted like. Now, I'm going to end in agreement with what the great god of manliness, Ron Swanson, once said. Steak Smith!
What?
On second thought, I think I will have that third steak.